Shaquille O'Neal wasn't just a basketball player. He was a game changer in every sense. Shaq's resume says it all. 4-time NBA champion, 3-time Finals MVP, 15-time All-Star, and a Hall of Famer. He scored 28,596 career points, grabbed 13,099 rebounds, and left a trail of broken rims behind him. He was a beast out there, just a total juggernaut. As a gift to himself and a nightmare for the Clippers, Shaquille O'Neal turned his 28th birthday into a full-blown amazing party. As a rookie, he went toe-to-toe with MJ and put up 29 and 24. Then came the triple-double with 15 blocks. The Nets couldn't even breathe. And that 53-point beatdown on Minnesota. Just another day. These weren't just big games. They were loud reminders. This dude was built differently. This video is packed with some of Shaq's most dominant moments on the court. Before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a breakdown of NBA greatness. Now imagine this, you turn 28, and instead of throwing a party, you drop 61 points on your city rivals. That's how Shaq celebrated his birthday in 2000. The Lakers were rolling, and the Clippers, well, they were just in the way. Shaq lit them up for 61 points and 23 boards, hitting 24 of 35 from the floor. And here's the wild part, it didn't even look hard.
51 to play for a long lead to Shaq, he's got it, he's getting it up, put it in.
Every time he got the ball, it was 2 points. The Clippers tried everything. Double teams, fouls, prayers, but Shaq was locked in. You could feel it. This wasn't just domination, it was disrespectful. The kind of game that made teammates laugh and opponents quit. It summed up his MVP season perfectly. That night, it didn't matter who the Clippers put in front of him. Shaq was gonna score. He was gonna rebound. When most rookies face Michael Jordan, they fold, not Shaquille O'Neal. On January 16, 1993, just 20 years old, Shaq faced off with the GOAT, and he didn't blink. MJ went off for 64 points in one of his most iconic scoring nights. But Shaq, he quietly dropped 29 points and pulled down 24 rebounds. That's not just a solid game, that's a warning shot to the entire league. He wasn't overwhelmed. He went right at Jordan's Bulls, owning the glass, bullying in the paint, and putting up numbers that said, "I belong here." It didn't matter that MJ was at the height of his powers. Shaq was already proving he could hang with the best. On November 20th, 1993, Shaq gave the New Jersey Nets an unforgettable nightmare. 24 points, 28 rebounds, and 15 blocks. Yeah, 15 blocks. That's not just a number, that's straight up chaos. It's one of the wildest triple-doubles in NBA history. You can't even replicate those stats in 2K without getting called out. Shaq was only in his second year, and already he looked like a cheat code. Offensively, he scored with ease. But it's the defense that made this game scary. This was more than a good game. It was a flex, a message. Shaq wasn't just here to play, he was here to rule. The 53-point explosion, destroying Minnesota. By his second season, Shaq wasn't just a star, he was becoming a problem. On April 20th, 1994, he gave the Minnesota Timberwolves the full treatment. 53 points, 18 rebounds, and a night they'd never forget. Every trip down the court, Shaq was either dunking with fury, cleaning up misses, or hitting shots with a soft touch you wouldn't expect from a guy his size. It wasn't just brute strength. He showed finesse, timing, and straight-up skill. The Timberwolves tried everything, double teams, collapsing the paint, but nothing worked. Shaq was locked in, and once he got rolling, there was no stopping him. He didn't just score, he was punished. You could see it on the defenders' faces. Helplessness. This wasn't just a big night. It was the kind of performance that told the league, "You don't have an answer for me." Shaq wasn't coming. He had already arrived. The 2000 NBA Finals were supposed to be a grind. The Pacers had a rugged squad with Jermaine O'Neal and Dale Davis in the paint, but Shaq turned that challenge into a personal highlight reel. Game 1, he dropped 43 points and 19 rebounds. Game 2, an even more brutal 40 and 24. By Game 6, he sealed the deal with 41 points and 12 rebounds. That wasn't just dominance, it was demolition. He dominated the 2000 NBA Finals, putting up an unreal 38 points, 16.7 rebounds, and 2.7 blocks per game over 6 games. Indiana's front court was strong on paper, but none of that mattered. Shaq tore through them like they weren't even there. He rebounded in traffic, dunked over double teams, and bullied his way into the paint like he owned it, because in truth he did. This was the moment when people stopped asking if Shaq was just a regular season force. Game 1 of the 2001 Western Conference Semis, Shaq didn't just show up, he wrecked the Kings. We're talking 44 points, 21 rebounds, 7 blocks, and 4 assists. Sacramento thought they had a plan, maybe even the bodies to slow him down. But Shaq made sure they had no answers. They threw doubles, he passed out of them, tried to front him, he went right over, denied him touches, he forced the position and got the ball anyway. He averaged 33.3 points, 17.3 rebounds, and 3.3 blocks in 4 games in the 2001 Western Conference semifinals. Finals. This wasn't just raw power, it was pure basketball IQ. Shaq saw everything a step ahead. It felt like he was controlling the game like a puppet master, adjusting to every scheme the Kings tried. While Sacramento scrambled to keep up, Shaq turned the entire night into his playground. This was the year Shaq became unstoppable.
First time as head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. His thoughts on going...
With Phil Jackson taking over as head coach and bringing the triangle offense to LA, something clicked, and the Big Diesel went full throttle. Shaquille O'Neal didn't just have a great season. He had one of the most dominant seasons the NBA has ever seen.
2000 NBA MVP, Shaquille O'Neal.
He bulldozed his way to his first MVP award, leading the Lakers to a 67-15 record and steamrolling through the playoffs. In the postseason, Shaq was a nightmare matchup, averaging 29.7 points, first in the league, 13.6 rebounds, second, 3.8 assists, and 3 blocks per game, third. He capped it all off with a championship and finals MVP, cementing his legacy as the most dominant force of that era. In 2000, there was no answer for Shaq. He owned the paint, the league, and the moment. Shaq didn't just have dominant moments, he dominated eras. From 2000 to 2002, he completely owned the league. 3 straight finals MVPs, and teams were changing their entire game plan just to survive him. Some squads brought in big guys just to foul him hard. That was the strategy. His 2001 season, insane. He was on another level, breaking down defenses, dominating the boards, and leading the Lakers to a 16-1 playoff run that still feels unreal. But here's the wild part. It wasn't just the stats, it was the fear. Opponents stepped on the court already defeated. That psychological edge, that was Shaq's secret weapon. When a guy's so good that teams fold mentally before tip-off, you know you're dealing with a different beast. He didn't just win games, he crushed spirits. That kind of dominance reshaped the league and forced everyone else to adapt or get left behind. When you look back at these unreal moments, one thing's clear. Shaquille O'Neal wasn't just a star. He was a whole different beast. From battling MJ as a rookie to bulldozing through the playoffs with the Lakers, Shaq made the impossible look routine. It wasn't just size, it was skill. Footwork, vision, IQ, power. He had it all. In today's era of finesse and spacing, Shaq reminds us, sometimes dominance means simply being better than everyone else. His legacy isn't just in the rings, it's in how unfair he made the game feel. He didn't just play basketball, he bent it. If you enjoyed this look at Shaq's most dominant moments, hit that like button, subscribe, and drop your favorite Shaq moment in the comments. Was it the 61-point birthday bash, the finals run, or the night he blocked everything? More legendary stories are on the way. Don't miss out. See you next time.